addiction.
Recovery isn't a finish line. It's a new beginning, a step into the unknown. And for many, that new beginning is in a place they've never been. For Mark, it was here. A place of hope, a place of sanctuary, or so it seemed. This is Pastor Dan, a man who promised a new life. But for those he welcomed, the price of salvation was more than they ever bargained for. This wasn't about recovery. This was a different kind of calling. And Mark was about to learn the difference between being saved and simply being owned. Hope. It's a powerful drug. And for Mark, this basement was a sanctuary built on it. He saw a community. He saw a second chance. He saw what he desperately wanted to believe.
Welcome, men. You're not just in a house. You're in a home. A house of God. And here we don't just get sober, we get reborn. But a home has rules, God's rules. We serve Him first. That means church service 3 times a week. It means attending our Bible studies. And it means using the gifts He has given us to serve His vision.
The words were about salvation. The unspoken truth was about service. And the price of a clean life, it seemed.
Mark, you've got good leadership potential. I can see it in you. So a lot of these guys, they just need a strong hand. They need direction. And I think you're the man for the job. I need you to be my eyes and ears, my right hand. You'll give the orders, you'll handle the late night watches, you'll make sure my vision is respected. Consider it part of your recovery.
This wasn't an opportunity. It was an obligation, an entry point to a debt that was never meant to be paid. The first step on a path that would lead him to a place far darker than the streets he had left behind. The late-night watches began almost immediately. Pastor Dan framed it as a privilege, a sign of trust. But for Mark, it quickly became a burden. The weight of responsibility in a place that felt increasingly less like a sanctuary. Detroit nights can be unforgiving. Pastor Dan often spoke of the dangers lurking outside these walls. Dangers he, and now Mark, were responsible for keeping at bay. But the real danger was already inside.
How was Watch last night, Mark? Did everything go okay?
Yes, Pastor. Everything was quiet.
Good. Good. A church needs to be secure. Just like our souls, eh? For your extra duties. Consider it a small blessing.
The blessings came with expectations, the favors with strings attached. Mark was learning that in Pastor Dan's world, everything had a price. And the cost of his recovery might be his very freedom. For a few months, Mark went with the flow. He performed his duties. He saw it as a test of his faith and his will to change. But what he saw as a test, Pastor Dan saw as a demonstration of loyalty. And now, the reward was a deeper trap.
Mark, you've shown the potential I saw from the beginning. You've earned the trust of this congregation and God. I want you to be a deacon. my right hand in all matters of the church.
Pastor, I don't know what to say. It's a huge honor.
It is a huge commitment. As a deacon, you will represent the church. You will handle the administrative duties. You will make sure the other men are abiding by my rules. This isn't just a title, it is a vow.
A deacon's collar wasn't a symbol of a new life. It was a collar of chains, a commitment forged not in faith, but in coercion. A contract Mark didn't realize he had already signed.
A true leader, Mark, doesn't just do the work. He understands the vision. He becomes a part of the purpose. This ministry, it's a business, God's business. And it requires a steady hand, a loyal hand. I need to know I can trust you with everything. With the books, with the offerings, with my legacy.
Pastor, I'm honored. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm here for a reason. I want to prove myself.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. The other men, they are here to be saved. But you, Mark, you are here to save the mission.
With every passing day, the pastor's protégé was becoming a tool. Mark was no longer just an addict in recovery. He was being groomed. Groomed not for leadership, but for a life of servitude. And with every conversation, the chains grew tighter. After months of devotion, Mark was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. He had done the work. He had served the ministry. And now, he was taking the first step back into the world on his own terms.
What is this? Mark, what's going on?
Pastor, I got it. A job offer. My graduation is coming up and I found a place to live. I'm finally going to be on my own.
On your own? You think you're on your own, boy? You think God has another path for you? God's path is here. With me. We are not finished. You are not finished.
The mask was off. The lie was exposed. This was never a journey of faith. It was an exercise in control. And in that moment, Mark realized his new beginning was a cage.
A job interview! You choose a job over what I've done for you! Over what God has given you right here, mother!
The mask was not just off, it was shattered. The kind, welcoming pastor was gone, replaced by the gangster he had always been. The threat was clear, physical, imminent. The promise of salvation had become an ultimatum of fear.
Where are you going, boy? You owe me!
3 months. 3 months of clean time, of hope, of believing he was building a new life. And in one night, all of it was taken from him. He ran not from addiction, but to it. The coerced calling was answered. He was no longer a victim of his addiction, but a casualty of a far more sinister kind of evil.
and the only escape from the monster in the sanctuary was back into the streets.